I would spend my last day almost like encouraging people because I want their
Oh.
This is a very emotional interview.
All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Today we have a very special guest. Yeah, welcome to our very own Alex Tran, here to share some juicy stuff from his life.
Yeah.
We collected some questions from the audience because we did a Q&A for my birthday and we got pretty positive responses, surprisingly. So we thought we would give it another try, and Alex is an open book, so he actually loves doing stuff like this. So I tried to pull all these juicy questions to ask, as well as submitted questions from you guys from our Instagram. And before we get into it, just want to let you know, if you haven't yet, make sure you sign up for our email list, because we have a lot more opportunities and resources and stuff that we're setting out, including opportunities to vote and select what you guys want to hear on the podcast. So you are really the one like leading and guiding our direction of what we talk about on this podcast. So
Boom. Let's do it.
okay, are you ready?
Let's do it.
So
ask me anything.
So you did this to me too. Like, you started out light, and then we'll get increasingly
You can
Oh, you
do
don't.
mental gymnastics on me.
Okay.
I don't care.
All right. Okay. First question is context. If people have been following, you know, Alex loves to be healthy, and particularly he loves vegetables. He needs vegetables for every meal. So
I really do.
Yeah,
Or
he-
else I literally I think I get a headache.
so strange. But yes, what is your favorite vegetable out of all vegetables to eat? Like how hard it is for him to answer.
It depends. I think broccoli and cauliflower are really great staples, but
They're also very similar.
yeah, they're very similar too. So I think I like to stick with the cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower. I like bok choy in a lot of Asian dishes. I mean, I really like every vegetable. The only one that I like the least are tomatoes.
Which you don't even dislike. You just say you like the least.
Yeah,
Is there
exactly.
any vegetable you don't like?
Potatoes?
Is it a vegetable?
No way, it's a tuberb. Whatever, I'm not. AP bio
The
failed.
only reason you don't like it is because it's starchy. It's like,
Yeah, it's kind of heavy.
you don't even mind the taste.
Yeah,
knowing you.
kind of heavy, kind of starchy. Yeah, pretty much like any vegetable. I don't know. Can you give me some other options? What?
No, I can't think of any that you don't like either. I was wondering if you had a secret one.
Yeah, I think the magic formula is having a rainbow and array of colors in my dish.
Okay.
So the more colors, the better. Like throw in the broccoli, cauliflower,
French
red
fries.
cabbage. I don't know about French fries.
It's yellow.
It is yellow though, but no.
Okay.
Yeah, even with pizzas, like whenever we eat custom pizzas,
It's a rainbow.
it's mainly a flatbread.
It's yeah. You know how there's like Joseph and his technicolor coat?
Yeah,
Yours is like technicolored
pizzas.
pizzas.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. What is a song that always lights you up?
Well, I really like High School Musical,
Yes.
and
If people don't know, he knows like all the words and better than I do.
only High School Musical 1 and 2.
Only. Okay.
I don't do 3 or like what High School Musical, the series. So anything that's nostalgic
I love
is
HMOs.
great.
High School Musical series.
Yeah, High School Musical 1, High School Musical 2. I like musicals like Wicked. I saw Wicked for the first time
So good.
this summer. So I like For Good, Defying Gravity. I like everything Hamilton as well.
So if you had to pick one song, like just makes you happy, makes you want to dance, puts you in a good mood, what would that be?
Just one?
Yes.
Gosh, I really don't know. I like worship songs too. Actually,
Okay, you keep giving us categories and genres, but
because I don't have a favorite song.
it doesn't have to be a favorite. Just like put on that song.
I mean, I Thank God by Maverick City.
Okay, that's valid. It's
Yeah.
a pump up song, makes you want to dance.
Yeah.
I remember when I first heard that song, it was like dance party in my car all the time.
Yes. Praise the Lord.
Okay. Context for this question is we all know, or most of us who know, you have a very high value for relationships and friendships. So, what quality do you value the most in a friendship?
These are really hard questions.
I mean, you asked for hard ones, so
these most questions are really difficult. I'll share a few that I really value is vulnerability and humility. And they go hand in hand. I feel like when I think about my friends who give me the most life and I enjoy being around, they're both vulnerable and they're not prideful, they're humble. And I think it's so beautiful when people are able to share things humbly. So yeah, humility, vulnerability, deep, I guess. Deep.
What does deep mean? Because like there's deep as in like philosophical, existential, or like, yeah. What does deep mean?
Yeah. Deep as in like let's talk about the deep things of life. It's like
what's an example?
I just used the same word to describe the word. It's like, can you define what this means? Oh, this means the same word. Can you describe microphone? It's microphone. Anyways, deep is like you share the depths of your heart. You are vulnerable with your life. And I guess I'll share like one thing that turns me off is I have to be careful with how I say this. Positivity is like not like that, but like can you
I'm pretty positive.
Yeah, you are, but people who are like way too positive even when you're struggling. I think
like tone deaf.
Like, yeah, kind of tone deaf. You're like too chipper. And I think there's a balance of both. I think you can both be positive, faith-filled, but also vulnerable as well.
Right.
So just real. I think
real,
authenticity is
not like putting a mask on to be like, oh, everything's great, but then it's like they feel fake to you or something.
Yes.
Authenticity.
And another one is just having fun with each other. Like I like playing sports, working out, laughing,
making jokes.
Yeah, making jokes, like things that people enjoy.
All right. What would your dream job be? This is a submitted one. Like, what if you weren't doing what you do now? Like, what would your dream job be?
I'll answer it a little bit more broadly.
Okay.
I think notice how I don't answer the question.
You're like a politician. Like you're
very diplomatic.
Like,
I'll answer it, but I won't answer it
a different way. Okay.
I am on the Myers-Briggs personality type. I'm an INFJ, and one of the traits of an INFJ is that they don't like to be put in a box, and they don't think that they can be boxed in. And where I'm coming from is when people ask me, what's your dream job? I have a hard time putting myself in a box like, oh, I want to be a doctor or I want to be a pastor. But actually, I like to be creative with the roles that I have.
Okay.
And
so what would that, if you could make up any job, what would it be?
I would love to do something that shepherds people. Like kind of like a pastor where they get to know someone's heart, what they're struggling with. Like, I really like being in the weeds with someone in their life, praying for them, encouraging them, coaching them as well. So that's one thing I really like. I just enjoy developing people and seeing their trajectory and their growth.
So you're basically describing your coaching business right now.
Yeah. I guess that's one aspect. Another aspect is I like, this sounds super nerdy, but I actually like systems and processes and managing projects. Because I like organizing the chaos. Like, I see like a bunch of different things that are everywhere, and I like to put them together, kind of like gluing them all together in a cohesive structure or process. Even for our podcast, cool. What?
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm just. You just used a bunch of jargon that just my eyes were glazing over.
Cool. Wow, that was the most disinterested cool ever.
I'm just not interested in processes and systems. They're important. We need them. So thank God for people like you. But as you're just used, I felt like, okay, business jargon. Like, you know how in Charlie Brown they go.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, what were you gonna say?
I totally forgot.
So your dream job that you would make up would be doing coaching and doing some systems and processes stuff.
Yeah, or even like supporting people in their in a role like an exec assistant. Like there's a lot of things I really like, and I have a really hard time just like putting a job or like my role into a box.
Okay, that's fair. We're
Nice.
always in progress.
Yeah.
All right. What would you rather play if you could only play one sport, basketball or pickleball, for the rest of your life? What would it be?
Basketball.
That was so fast. I thought you really liked pickleball too.
I like pickleball, but I enjoy basketball the most.
Why? Also, this is a tangential question related to Kim asked, when are we going to play basketball with you next?
Oh, sometime before the end of the year.
Anyway, yeah. Why do you like basketball so much? That's a fast response.
I like it when the ball is in my hand and when I dribble it, and when I shoot. It just feels natural. I'm not saying like I'm good or anything. I just get a lot of joy when there's a basketball in my hand and I get to run around with it. I love like the sound of the swish when I make a noise. I love like
wait. I'm confused because it just sounds like you're describing what happens when you play the sport, but why do you like it?
I'm explaining why.
No, this is like, why do you enjoy eating? Oh, because I like the fork and I like the plate and I like the eating process.
I mean, that is true actually. But I like the whole process. It's just more enjoyable for me. I think I like.
Okay.
There's more variety, I guess, in basketball. I mean, there's variety in any sport, right? Even pickleball, you can do many things, but in basketball, there's just so many combination of. I think what I really enjoy is the adrenaline, and the teamwork, the unpredictability, coupled with what it feels like to dribble a basketball and shoot it. Because in a basketball game, there's so many things that you can do. You have teammates, you can dribble around people, you can shoot. There's like an unlimited number of decisions to make.
Isn't that the same thing with like soccer, football, baseball, volleyball?
It is. But I just enjoy, well, soccer, I'm not really good with my feet.
Okay.
So there's that.
I see.
With football, it's you take a break every like few seconds. Oh man, I'm just like it's just, I mean, wow. I enjoy all sports.
NFL players are offended right
now. I know. Sorry. I just enjoy basketball.
Okay.
I don't even know. It's kind of like explaining why do you like
broccoli and cauliflower?
Yeah, why do you like broccoli and cauliflower? I just like it.
If you could travel to anywhere in the world and money was not an object, where would you go?
Probably Hawaii. Hawaii. So there's this YouTuber that I follow. I think they're called YBS Youngbloods or something like that. I could be butchering the
What
name.
just came
But
out?
anyways, this YouTuber, they're in Australia and they travel to the bluest oceans of the earth, mainly in Australia actually. And they're on a boat and they like go deep dive fishing. They like are stranded on an island and they're trying to like survive there. It's kind of it's so interesting. But anyways, I just really like
How does this relate to Hawaii?
this is another
Oh,
place. Anyways,
you just made a mental jump without cueing us.
sorry about that. I tend to do this.
Okay.
But I like that place that they travel to in Australia.
Where?
I don't know exactly where it is, but it's one of the bluest oceans in the world. And I would
Wow.
want to go there.
Back to Australia.
Yeah.
You've only been once. That
Yeah.
was to meet a girl.
Yep. Don't regret it. But this part is on I think it's
Back
on
to
like
the important part.
it's on the western side of Australia. It's like
Like
super
near
super
Perth?
blue. I don't know where it is.
Interesting.
But it's like super blue and I bet it's warm.
Did they edit the video?
I don't think so. I think that they just have high quality cameras.
Okay.
And I Googled and it's actually one of the bluest.
But you don't know where it is? Someone help us out and put that in the comments because why you research this place and don't remember where it is.
It's somewhere in Australia.
Okay. I feel like I'm similar. Like I would want to go to somewhere with like really beautiful blue, like Bora Bora, like really beautiful water.
Yeah.
And Hawaii is a good choice too.
Yeah.
What advice would you tell yourself if you could go back to 10 years ago? 10 yourself 10 years ago. What advice would you give?
22-year-old Alex was he was very passionate yet very immature.
Okay. I feel like that's
And
all of us, even now.
well, yeah. I feel like I would tell him to I think I would tell him not to get swayed so much by the things of this world and just the patterns of this world and to continue loving God more, loving people more, and putting my hope into more eternal kingdom oriented things. Because when I was 22, like many 22-year-olds, you're kind of transitioning from college to the real world. And it's so easy to get sucked up into just working and money and all that stuff, like the worries of life,
like what everyone else cares
relationships.
about.
Yeah, like what everyone cares about. But I think I was also a newer Christian back then. So I was passionate, but I was swayed pretty easily. So I would say fix my eyes on Jesus. And
Nice.
yeah.
Seek first the kingdom.
Yep. That's what I would do.
Nice. What's one thing that you want to do in your life that you haven't done yet, and why not?
I've actually done pretty much all the things that I wanted to do.
Really?
I mean, there's always more, right? There's an unlimited amount of possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
But
including
yeah, like going to Bora Bora or going to that place in Australia. I think I would
whatever
love that.
that place is.
I think there's a financial barrier or a perceived financial barrier or time. And I think maybe I just didn't prioritize it, or maybe things get in the way as usual. That's something I would do. I would also actually want to live in another country. Yeah. Actually, I have lived in another country, but it was very short, like 4 months, 5 months studying abroad. But I would want to live in... I do have a heart for Asia. So Southeast Asia, perhaps. Vietnam, maybe.
Says the guy who's never been to Vietnam.
Yeah, right. Hong Kong, maybe. Europe could be one, like London. I think I would live there.
You just named 2 out of most of the continents in the world.
Yeah, right.
Okay. What's the biggest misconception people have about you? Or one of them?
What do you think?
You go first.
One misconception people often have. I mean, this is my perception of other people's perception. I think people think I don't have an opinion about things because I tend to be agreeable. Well, actually, there's a lot of misconceptions about me. People don't think I have an opinion because I'm quiet and I'm agreeable. People think I'm not easily excited, but actually, when I get excited, it just looks a little bit more toned down than others.
Except when you see a really big retreat house.
Yeah.
Last
We went
year.
to Tahoe.
You were like a little kid on Christmas.
Yes. Yeah. I would say don't have an opinion, quiet, and not easily excited. Yeah, those are the things people probably think about me. But
what's reality?
The reality is I do have an opinion. I am just slower at processing my opinion to verbalize it. I am quiet, actually. I am an introvert, and I like to take time in thinking about things. So it's not wrong being quiet. So I own up to that.
Right. But you do have thoughts and opinions.
But I do have thoughts and opinions. Right. And the last one, what was the last one I said? Excited.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The reality is I do get excited. It just doesn't show very expressly.
Or maybe like you're processing your own excitement. So
yeah. I'm excited in my heart.
The buffering takes a little longer. The Wi-Fi connection is a little broadband.
Yeah. It takes a while to go from the head to the heart to the face, I guess.
It's hilarious. Okay. What is one of the biggest ways that you feel you've personally changed in the past 10 years?
Let me ask you.
What? You go first. I don't want to sway you.
No. I already know.
What?
Go first.
Okay.
Or I could be deceiving myself, but I think the wife usually has a more accurate indicator.
Okay. There's a lot. Well, I've only known you 5 years, so this will be
I'll tell the other half.
I'll do 50% of it. I feel one of the biggest ways you've changed has been not being like as Eeyore as you used to be.
For people who don't know what Eeyore is, what's
it's like
Eeyore?
The donkey from Winnie the Pooh. I just think Eeyore is like always like, oh, woe is me.
Oh, life sucks.
Like that attitude. And not that you were like that when I met you, but I remember there were moments when we were long distance dating, especially when you would be going through stuff. And then, yeah, you would be going through stuff and then you would be like mopey, you know? And
what's an example?
Like at your work, you know, things were not going well. And then you were like, Eeyore. And I was, you know, and I had to be balanced out more. I was a bit too positive, like all the time. So I didn't really know how to like empathize with your pain, but I was like, why is this guy always complaining? But now I feel like you have a much better handle on like, oh yeah, it's okay to grieve and process the pain, but it's possible to do that simultaneously while having a positive, optimistic, hopeful outlet at the same time. So
yeah, I agree.
Okay, how do you think you've changed?
Was that the biggest thing?
One of the biggest, I definitely think.
Yeah. Even double clicking on that, there was one time where you were in my room where I grew up and you found a journal And
I forgot. Yeah.
that was my high school journal.
Oh yeah.
And what was in the
I
journal?
was like, who wrote this journal? It's so emo and like I hate everything. Like I can't stand this person and like my life is
it's
meaningless.
It's not that bad.
It was just super negative and cynical. And I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
So yeah, you've definitely come a long way.
Yeah. 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 Besides being Eeyore,
Emo Eeyore.
emo Eeyore, I think there was definitely confusion a lot. I was always confused about my calling.
Mm-hmm.
Like every day, I'm confused. Wait, what's my calling? Or am I missing something? Or I had that. I also had FOMO
So
a
it's like
lot.
an existential crisis every day.
Yeah, pretty much. Every day. It was so bad. Even my life coach said, every day you're like, I'm confused. I'm confused. It's like some variation of confused. Yeah. So being emo, being confused, and I think more purpose driven. I mean, now, not then, but there I thought I was purpose driven, but I actually was just way too much by the
You're
world.
FOMO driven.
I was FOMO driven. Like whenever there were, an example is whenever there were church events or just social events, I would usually would feel the need to go, and I would feel hurt if I didn't get invited.
Right. So it wasn't like you felt like to do it out of an overflow of like, yeah, I'm called to this, but you're like, I don't want to miss out, and I want to like have people care about me, and like,
Yeah, exactly. Because the narrative I was telling myself was, if I am not invited, then they must not care about me, or they must not think about me.
Or if I'm not there, they're gonna forget about me.
Right. So, definitely experienced a lot of that, but now it's complete opposite. I'm not as confused. You don't hear me.
Yeah.
I'm not as emo. And
why are you looking at me like I have to confirm?
Because you're usually right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And you yourself, I like how you said the other day, I've learned not to FOMO into things, or FOMO myself.
Yeah.
How did you put it?
I've learned not to FOMO into things.
Yeah. Which is good.
Yeah. So now it's more, I don't really get affected that much, even with social media. I mean, it's there, it's still lingering, but for the most part, it doesn't really affect me that much.
What's been the biggest thing that's helped you get out of the emo-ness, confusion, and purpose FOMO thing?
I would say besides God, well, God, but mentors and coaches and people who speak into your life, and they're not afraid to hurt you because they know, because what they're saying is the best for me.
Am I one of those people?
Yeah, you are one of those people. Yeah, but yeah, one of my, well, Paul and Bonnie are two of them.
Right.
Very formative. Paul's like one of my close friends, and he's like an older brother. Bonnie was my first life coach. Paul was actually like my calling coach. Like he helped me hone my sweet spot for my calling. But both of them really played a big part in my journey, because I feel like not many people have people around them that say hard truths to them. And those were people who I really looked up to. And I usually don't like authority figures, but if it's someone who I really respect, I literally almost do everything that they tell me to do. And I take whatever they say as truth. Almost naively, but I trust them. I still trust them to this day. So yeah, just having people who called me out and kind of joined me along in the journey as well has been really transformative.
Yeah, that's really important. I feel like that's been I can definitely see that being one of your best traits, has been seeking out that help, and then also letting that form like your decisions and how you choose to grow. I remember Bonnie said before, like, you are one of the most action oriented. Like, when she says something, you like put into action right away. Versus
Yeah.
a lot of people are just like they listen, but then they don't do. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. One thing that also has helped is I think I just have a natural drive to grow,
Mm.
and I'm eager and curious. And so just people around me plus my own character traits has helped me with that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Let's do four more questions. What is one of the best ways you feel like, or what's been one of the biggest ways your perception of God has changed the past 10 years?
I think it started off very intellectual and logical.
Mm-hmm. I think most people is like that. Probably like that.
Yeah, but for me, it started off logical. Like I would read the Bible, it was more facts. And as I grew more, especially in these last 4 years, especially, it's gotten more, it's connected more from the head to the heart. And you know how the Bible says, love the Lord with all your heart? I feel like I actually didn't do that. When I first,
only your mind.
yeah, right. Love God with all your heart, soul, and mind, right? Yeah, I was only loving him with my mind. Not only, but mostly with my mind. But over the years, it's with hardships and with circumstances that's made me trust him more, like not really by choice, but because I have to and because he's the only thing I have. I feel like I've fallen more in love with God, and I trust him a lot more. And that's resulted in less anxiety, but just more of a deeper devotion to God.
It's beautiful. Okay. What would you do if you knew you were going to die tomorrow? Like, how would you spend the day?
Oh,
Death questions always get you.
death questions. Where am I?
What do you mean? You're here.
Like here? Like, oh, tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Where
Oh,
else?
I
Else
see.
would you be? Japan.
I would. Am I on a hospital bed or am I just gonna die? Sorry, I have to give me some context.
You're just gonna die. You're not sick or anything.
You know, Well, I would want to tell you how much I love you.
Aww.
And how much you have. I think, okay, let me even take a step back even more. I think what I would I would spend my last day almost like encouraging people because I want their
Oh.
I would want Okay. I would want to see their potential flourish without me.
Oh. Like, who's they?
Yeah, I'll get into that. Yeah, I think I just want to spend time with you and yeah, friends. And I would like close friends. People who have meant a lot, but yeah, I think I would pray for them, encourage them, and like call out something bigger out of them. Like affirm quality, like character traits or qualities that I've seen. And yeah,
Oh.
I'm not done. And I just want them to know that I just want to see them finish their own race. Yep. Wow, this is hard.
I'm
Yeah.
not surprised that you would say that. I kind of thought you would.
Yeah.
You're a natural encourager.
I'm not done, but yeah, I would just love to see them finish their race, kind of like Hebrews run the race to the finish, and I hope I get to play a part in that. And I would also, because it's my last day, I really have no shame. I think I would, when I'm answering these questions or a question like this, I'm thinking my default is to think eternal perspective, because when we see each other again, I would want to be proud of. This is a hard question, babe.
You asked for a hard question.
I would want to be proud of them and also proud of myself for the impact I get to make. When we see each other, I hope that they've really finished their race. And then for my parents, because they're not saved, they're pretty far from God, I would just share the gospel without holding back and make sure that they actually accept Jesus. And I hope that they do, and I get to baptize them.
Aww. Yes, that's like your number one dream.
Yep.
Oh. If people are not watching on video, Alex is a water fountain.
Yes.
All right. 2 more questions.
Is it harder than this?
Kind of related to death.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. What do you want people to remember about you and say about you after you die?
People? It's related, but yeah, I would want people to know that I would want my life to have somehow played a role in the trajectory of their life, and to help them to like run the race and finish strong. I think a lot of people can start off. People are great starters, but they're not great finishers. Like even I think when I even examine some people who I know personally, but people just from afar, people start off super strong. Like, yeah, I want to do this and XYZ, like start this church or this ministry or whatever. But if you push that out, push the time horizon out like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, I'm not sure if they will finish strong. Maybe they'll fall into sin or sexual immorality, divorces. Maybe they quit their calling. Whatever it is, there's a variety of reasons, but I hope that, yeah, I can. I hope I like played a part in their salvation and their race of faith.
Aw. Like people say you inspired them and stuff.
Yeah. Kind of like that.
I'm sure many people do already. People just don't say it.
Yeah, people definitely don't say it. And I will say to anyone who's listening, if there's anyone who has inspired you, it doesn't have to be me.
Let them
please
Makes
let
a
them
big
know.
difference.
It's a hard life, and it doesn't hurt to encourage someone. It doesn't hurt to shoot a text.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Last question. If you met with Jesus face to face today,
no, not this question.
What would you want to ask him?
So if I met Jesus face to face today,
if he's sitting right here,
like I'm not dead.
No, you're not dead, but you could. It's like a Q&A interview podcast episode with Jesus.
But he's leaving right after, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, I would ask him.
His spirit will be with you, but it's like the most direct face-to-face interaction you can.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I ask him. Well, when I read the word and you say soon, what does soon mean? Like, when are you coming back? Besides now, when you're sitting in front of me. So I mean, jokes aside, that is a serious question. But I would want to ask, like, what do you ask of me? Yeah. This is a very emotional interview.
I like it. You're being vulnerable.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
So I do have opinions. Yeah, I would just want to ask, like, okay, I'm about to turn 32. What do you want me to do for the rest of my life? How do you want me to spend it? Yeah. That's it.
I guess that's basically what you ask God every day anyway. Knowing you. That's your
But this is more obvious, and knowing Jesus, he'll probably give me some parable.
All right. Well, we've concluded the Q&A section.
Yep.
I just want to say happy birthday in advance because we're recording this before your birthday. And if any of you guys want to wish Alex a happy birthday or tell him how he's inspired you in your race of faith or walk of faith, please do so. You can Instagram DM, YouTube comment, text if you have his number, all the things. Because, yeah, I feel like you are making a much bigger difference than you know in people's lives. And it's kind of sad that we sometimes have to wait till we die to, not sometimes, but most of us have to wait till we die to like know about it. But yeah, I think the impact that you're having, I know for sure is having much more of a ripple effect than you can even imagine.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Love y'all.
Hey guys, real quick. This is kind of a surprise. Actually, Alex doesn't know that I'm doing this at the end. I want to ask you guys a favor. So if you have been impacted by Alex in any sort of way, as you heard in the episode, he loves word of affirmation, encouragement, and it's his number one love language. So I really want to ask you if you've been impacted by Alex to either post on Instagram or social media and tag him and let him know how he's impacted you in any sort of way. If you're, not someone who uses social media, you can also just email us directly at graceandalextran@gmail.com or just reach out to him directly, DM him on Instagram, reach Alex Tran. There's so many ways, but basically if you have been impacted by him, please make a post, send him a message, or let him know because it will make his week, really. It's not his birthday yet. His birthday is December 15th, so this is a bit early. So you can either do it now or later, but either way, last but not least, if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to our email list linked in the description below because that's how we'll continue to send you guys more updates, more content, and more encouraging resources up ahead that we don't want you to miss out on. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you again next week.